Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up, young Annette. Restless preview, as you know whose big party is. The talk of the town, Mariah ponders, breaking her silence, the man of the hour, Aristotle, Dumas, is about to throw his big soiree in the south of France. However, it seems the list of attendees isn't quite finalized. In the young and restless preview below, find out who Victor wants to ensure is at that party. Plus, what has Mariah been too frightened to talk about? And look who is back in Genoa City. At the Jazz Lounge, Holden eavesdrops on a conversation between Audra and Victor about Dumas' upcoming party at his private estate. Holden is up to something, as he recently learned Dumas fired him and Damien, and suspects Damien threw him under the bus to their mysterious boss. Perhaps he's looking for an end to Dumas Friday the 13th bash, though why would anyone want to go to someone's party on that day of all days, especially someone with Dumas' reputation? As Holden listens in, Victor informs Audra he has another task for her. He wants her to make sure a certain someone he just signed a most interesting contract with is in attendance. But why? Daniel gets a surprise when his favorite rock star shows up in town? Yes, Danny and Cricket are back, but why? They haven't been invited to Dumas' big party, have they? Finally, Tessa has been trying to be patient with her wife, but knows something has been eating at Mariah since her trip. Fans of the couple can rest assured that it wasn't a one-night stand, though that's not much comfort, as Mariah calls. What happened much worse? Not only couldn't she tell her mother, but she was afraid to face it herself. Next week, confronted by her wife, what Mariah has to say sends a dark shiver down even our spines. Read the Young and Restless spoilers to find out who is getting an ultimatum from Victor now, and who makes Nick a promise. It's a classic Genoa City week. The champagne's flowing, secrets are bubbling, and the event of the season is about to become the catalyst for a revelation that could change everything, while the glitterati of the Young and the Restless gather for what's being hyped as, you know whose high-profile party, and trust us, it's someone with enough clout to bring Victor Newman out in a tailored tux, another storm brews. Quietly on the sidelines, one that centers on none other than Mariah Copeland. Because while everyone's eyes are on the guest list, the real intrigue lies with the guest who's been avoiding the spotlight entirely. Mariah's been carrying a secret. For weeks, one that has the power to shake up more than just her. Marriage with Tessa. As the invitations go out and the speculation swirls, Mariah's conscience begins to gnaw. Could this party, with all its buzz, backstabbing, and barely concealed agendas, be the moment she finally breaks her silence? Let's unpack what's coming in this glittering, emotional powder keg of a week. From party scandals to personal confessions. And why this could be the beginning of the end for Mariah's carefully controlled facade. The party, Genoa City. Gears up for you-know-who. Let's be real, in Genoa City there's always a party happening, but this one, it's different, exclusive, dramatic, loaded. You-know-who. As the show has deliberately teased, is someone with major clout and deeper ties to at least 3 core families. Whether it's Nikki Newman celebrating a milestone birthday, Ashley Abbott unveiling a massive new venture, or a romantic bombshell, or even Victor himself orchestrating a social chess move. The invitation-only affair has everyone from the coffeehouse to the corporate boardroom buzzing. Security is tight. The press has been tipped. And the whispers on the street suggest this party will be less about celebration and more about confrontation. But as the stage is set for Genoa City's elite to show up and show out, one familiar face remains conspicuously absent from the RSVP list, or so it seems. Mariah's dilemma. A secret too big to bear? While the rest of town is distracted with who's wearing what and whether Diane and Phyllis can be trusted within 10 feet of each other, Mariah is spiraling. Fans have noted her increasingly erratic behavior over the past few episodes, fumbled conversations, evasive answers, and a haunted look every time someone even hints at the past. Something's eating her alive. And the closer we get to the big party, the more obvious it becomes. She's hiding a truth that desperately wants out. Tessa knows something's off. Sharon's intuition is screaming. Even Noah, caught up in his own chaos, has noticed the shift in Mariah's energy. But no one knows the full story. Not yet. What could she be hiding that's bad enough to risk blowing up her relationship? Her family and her place in Genoa City, sources close to production, hint that it's tied to something she thought was long buried, and someone who might just be planning their own dramatic return, flashbacks and fractures. What we know so far in recent episodes. Mariah has been spotted rereading old emails, calling disconnected numbers, and spending far too much time staring at the past through a photo tucked into the pages of a book one fans are speculating may feature a familiar, possibly dangerous face. There's been buzz on social media about the possibility of Ian Ward's circle re-emerging, or that Mariah might have made a devastating choice years ago that she'd never fully owned up to. Others believe her time as a surrogate and the complicated dynamics it brought could have repercussions we're only beginning to understand. But one thing's for sure, this isn't just about guilt. It's about something or someone that could still do real damage. And as fate would have it, the one place where secrets can't stay hidden is a party thrown by you-know-who. Should she go, or should she confess? The internal tug-of-war Mariah is dealing with is classic soap gold. Does she bottle it up and pretend everything's fine? Slipping into a designer dress and smiling through the night like nothing's wrong? Or does she use the party as her stage and drop the kind of emotional bomb that can't be walked back? Word is, Tessa receives an invite to perform at the event, giving Mariah the perfect cover to attend without drawing attention. But when Mariah sees the names on the guest list, something shifts. Because among the power players and polished exes, there's one name she doesn't expect to see. Hers. You know who didn't just invite the obvious players? They invited the complicated ones. The stakes, more than just a confession Mariah's. Silence doesn't just affect her. It affects everyone she loves. The secret ties back to someone like Sharon, or worse, someone like Victor. The fallout could be nuclear, but perhaps the person most at risk is Claire since discovering her. Real family, Claire has become a quiet lightning rod for drama. And if Mariah's past mistake involves Claire, or someone who still wants revenge on the Newmans, then keeping quiet is no longer just self-preservation. It's dangerous. Some fans theorize that Mariah may have known something about Claire long before her return, or may have crossed paths with someone connected to Jordan and never realized it. That theory would explain her current guilt, her reluctance to involve others, especially if her silence allowed someone to get hurt. The night of the party, when glitter meets guilt preview. Spoilers tease that the party will go off in classic Y and R fashion, glamour, and a thread of absolute chaos under the surface. Phyllis shows up uninvited. Billy makes a toast that borders on sabotage. Audra is seen whispering something venomous to Kyle. And in the middle of it all, Mariah, standing beside Tessa, begins to unravel. You ever feel like the walls are closing in? She asks Sharon quietly during a moment alone. Something you buried is clawing its way to the surface, and it's not going to stop until it's wrecked everything. Sharon, ever the empath, urges her daughter to tell the truth, but Mariah still hesitates until the surprise guest arrives, the return that changes everything. In the final minutes of the episode, one that Y and R is already teasing as unmissable, a figure steps out of the shadows. It's not a name we've seen in the credits for a while. Someone from Mariah's past. Someone connected to her secret, and when their eyes meet, Mariah turns to Tessa and whispers, I think it's time. Time to confess. Time to unravel the lie. Time to stop pretending. Because once this secret is out, there's no putting it back in the box. What happens next? The weeks following the party promise emotional upheaval, shifting alliances, and a reckoning for Mariah. Will Tessa forgive her? Will Sharon be pulled into the mess? Will Victor use the truth as leverage? How does Claire, newly vulnerable, yet increasingly central, fit into a story that's quickly becoming about far more than one woman's guilt?